everybody. We're so glad you're here tonight for the Lighting the Way showcase for young artists. My name is Kathy Saunders, and I'm the coordinator for Lighting the Way, Historic Women of the South Coast. Lighting the Way is a project of New Bedford Whaling Museum, and at the core of it is our website, historicwomensouthcoast.org, where you will find profiles of over 100 women in the South Coast who have made a difference and an impact and shaped the community that we know here today. And I'm going to introduce my colleague from the YWCA, Jordan Latham.
Hi, Kathy, and thank you everybody for being here this evening. First, I just want to take a few minutes here to tell you a bit about the partnership that made tonight's event possible and the funders that helped make tonight possible as well. Last year, YWCA Southeastern Mass and the New Bedford Whaling Museum's Lighting the Way project came together to develop a three-part series called Lighting the Way from Suffrage to Civic Engagement. And this partnership that we developed was in response to Mass Humanities' The Vote Initiative. And what we did in developing this project was our goal was to engage multiple local arts, cultural, and nonprofit organizations to build collaborations that communicate and connect the history and legacy of voting rights and the stories of historic women to a broad audience. This project is of great interest and importance to our community. This three-part series explored the history of voting rights in our community through such events titled Centering Women of Color in the History of Voting Rights and the Women's Suffrage Movement. And tonight is the second of our Ignite Youth Artist Showcase. So the full title, Ignite, a showcase of youth art inspired by historic women of the South Coast. Students from around New Bedford have produced art that reflects on the remarkable stories of local women's activism and their enduring commitment to their families, their vocation, and their communities. And they shared these pieces with their peers and the larger community in a meaningful way through artistic expression. As you can see, this is truly a community-based project, one that looks at an important issue and engages people in conversation and thought. It's the kind of work that lasts, and it has a positive effect on the city of New Bedford. I want to take a minute right now to thank Mass Humanities, the Massachusetts Cultural Council, and the New Bedford Cultural Council for making tonight's program possible. We are so thrilled to have been one of the 17 organizations supported through Mass Humanities' The Vote, a statewide conversation about voting rights special initiative. I also just want to take a minute to extend huge thanks to Christina, Kathy, and Jocelyn from the Whaling Museum for their incredible partnership and friendship and collaboration over the course of the last year for this series. And ultimately sending, again, a huge thank you to Jessica Ross, education consultant, Toby, Eugenio, the education creative director, and the students from our sister school for playing a critical role in making tonight's program such a success. Thank you so much. And now I'm going to pass it on to my dear friend and colleague, Christina. Kathy, I'm going to Kathy next. Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you. So one of the features that we did this year, so second year, as Jordan said, that we have done this showcase. And this year we connected the call for artists to a digital exhibit that Lighting the Way released this year called Organizing New Bedford. Women Who Mobilized Change. And Organizing New Bedford takes 7 of the Lighting the Way historic women and features them on this special digital platform. You can access that from our website. And because these women so embodied civic engagement, which is that theme that Jordan talked about, we wanted to help direct the students to be inspired by these young women, by these historic women, these young women, so that sort of lays the foundation for the call for artists. And then after we did the call for artists, we wanted to support the students in many different ways. And so Christina Turner, our Director of Education, I am going to turn it over to you to talk a little more about what happened after we did the call for artists.
Great, thank you. So as Jordan mentioned, the Ignite Youth Art Showcases engages youth in understanding their community, their history, and the contributions of South Coast women through the process of art making. In past years, the showcase has been accompanied by a series of in-person workshops where students learn about the Lighting the Way project, explore the stories of South Coast women, and then brainstorm and experiment with different tools to create their final piece of work. This year, like with many things, we had to get creative. So in order to support students and educators participating in this year's Ignite Showcase, we created a series of videos in collaboration with Toby Eugenio, creative director at our sister school, and to our sister school students, Anais and Zoyan. So we are going to get to view some of what students had in terms of support and thinking about art and art making this year. So please join me in watching a couple of short clips for some of those videos that were created this year. So in addition to videos about art making that we'll view a couple of clips from, the New Bedford Whaling Museum High School apprentices also created a series of short videos discussing women from organizing New Bedford. Those series of short videos were showcased through Instagram Live and other social media platforms as well. So we're both going to get to see the videos from our sister school talking specifically about art and art making, as well as the museum's high school apprentices highlighting some of the women from organizing New Bedford.
Hi, my name is Toby Eugenio. I have the honor and privilege of being the art teacher at our sister school here in New Bedford. And today I brought one of my amazing students with me, Anais Mendes, and we're at the Whaling Museum to talk to you a little bit about the power of art to make a difference in our society and the important role of a museum to tell those stories. So let's take a moment and go see what Anais is doing and learn a little bit more about what art really is.
Thank you, Ms. Eugenio. Hi, my name is Anais Mendes, and as an artist, I'm excited to share with you some thoughts on art and the role it plays in our society. Art is more than just a paintbrush on an easel. It has been so much more since the earliest cave paintings. Art as a visual image has always been a way to communicate. Although the definition of art is somewhat fluid, it's always used to convey a message.
Working with materials is an important part of the studio practice. As artists, we can begin by doing some research, which will help us envision more than one solution to our design challenge. We can also develop some thumbnails. Thumbnails are small images and doodles of different ideas that will help us pick the just right fit for our design solution. Making beautiful art, continue to tweak and try new things, working to convey that strong and powerful message to your viewer. As you work, you will likely be making a few mistakes. Making mistakes are such an important part of the creative process. There are some strategies that will help you be more successful. Consider seeking feedback as an option to help you. Trying again. Just when you're feeling most frustrated, consider persevering.
Hey, I'm an apprentice at the New Bedford Whaling Museum, and I want to tell you about Elizabeth Carter Brooks. I read about Elizabeth at the new digital exhibit, Organizing New Bedford, Women Who Mobilized Change. Some facts about Elizabeth: she lived in New Bedford, she fought for equality for African Americans, she joined the NAACP, she was the organizer for the Elizabeth Carter Brooks Junior Girls Club, where they studied African American history, explored current events and advocacy, and promoted kindness and good deeds. Everyone should know about her. She was the first African American woman hired as a public school teacher in New Bedford. She has an elementary school named after her. Elizabeth was known for her help to her community in breaking barriers for African American women by becoming the first African American woman teacher in New Bedford. I care about her because she changed the way people teach in New Bedford and the respect people have for African American teachers. Also, she joined many different community organizations to bring equality to women of color. I can connect to her because I am a woman of color who lives in New Bedford.
So, I hope that gave you a little flavor of how we prepare the students to be as a part of this. One of the really great things was that after we sort of put all of this work out for the students was then that we have this panel of amazing judges who we pulled from the community to help to review these, and they just were so moved by all of the artworks that happened. And those judges came from our Lighting the Way committee members. We had the three fantastic members of Lighting the Way, Anna Leary, Priscilla Ditchfield, and Bernadette Souza. We also had the content developer of Organizing New Bedford, Tom Begley. And we also had two community arts leaders, Allison Wells and Jasmine Baird. And they were able to review these, and I invited Bernadette Souza, who was one of the judges, to come and help us today give her impressions as a judge of these artworks. And Bernadette, in addition to being a member of the Lighting the Way Committee and a trustee of the New Bedford Whaling Museum, is also the executive director of Youth Opportunities Unlimited.
Hello, Kathy. Thank you for that introduction. I must say, wow, what an honor it was to judge once again this program. This was my second year in doing so, and I was blown away with the talent that was portrayed. Kudos to you all. That's what I have to say. All these submissions were awesome. What I love most about these submissions were that they each had their own personality, their own unique style, their own flair. And that's what artwork is all about, right? The level of technical skill really didn't matter to me. You know why? You all were winners, all of you. Why? Number one, you said yes. Number two, you followed through. And number three, you all tried your best, your very best. Blown away. I learned more and more about these historic women. What a wonderful way to learn about them through your artwork. That's what was so special about it all. And I must say, you all nailed it. The three women that were highlighted, few of the women that were highlighted, I knew very well personally. Mary Barrows, growing up as a child, she played an influential role in my life, as well as Jenny Horn and Rosemary Turney. Always will have that special place. But to see these women portrayed through your artwork made it even more special. And what I got to say is, you know, artwork, I said artwork it's powerful, not just because of its beauty, but because it causes that emotion. And that's what I felt when I judged your work, emotion. And also, I'm looking so forward to seeing you grow with this artwork, that level from the 5th grade submission all the way to the 10th, that level of growth. And hopefully next year, we will be able to see you partake in this contest once again. So from me to all of you, great job. Kudos. Thank you.
Thank you, Bernadette. I could not agree more about these. And Christina, I'm going to invite you on for just a moment. If you could just talk a little bit about the artworks and the process, and while I get through this tech difficulty I'm having.
Of course, I muted. So now we're going to get to see the 8 artworks that were submitted to this year's Ignite Youth Art Showcase. Each artist was asked to write a statement about their work. You will both see their slide with an excerpt of us from that statement, as well as hear either myself or Kathy giving voice to that for a moment, followed by the actual piece of artwork. So we hope you enjoy. Aaliyah, grade 8, our sister school. As a human, I believe in standing up for what is right. I also believe in using my voice, my heart, and my art to make a difference. Like Rosemary Tierney, I really care about New Bedford and want to do my part to be sure that this is a place and space for all humans to feel valued.
Anais, grade 7, our sister school. Roar Justice collage. Like the women who mobilized change, I believe that women deserve a place and should have equal rights as men. Using my art as a political statement to represent the important work of all the Ignite women have done to make the world a better place. Speaking up and taking action is hard, but so important. We all need to roar for justice.
Ariana, grade 8, our sister school, Human Digital Work. As a strong advocate and voice for others, Mary Santos Barrows spoke and acted on behalf of others who often were underrepresented and socially excluded. My piece honors and is modeled after her important work, respecting all and building an inclusive community. Mary took action, spoke up, educated, and gathered other humans to causes that she believed were right.
Avia, grade 5, our sister school, Speak for Justice, drawing. Many Portuguese people did not understand the speeches that English people were making during the strike of 1928. Eulalia Mendes did understand, and so she translated these speeches into Portuguese so everyone could have equal rights. She made a big impact in textile workers' lives. I wanted people to understand how hard she worked.
Juliana, grade 8, Discovery Language Academy, digital drawing. I drew Rosetta Douglas about to give her famous speech, Anna Murray Douglas, my mother as I recall her. I drew her in blacks, browns, and whites to portray how pictures used to look back then. I put colors to symbolize that. In a world of black and white, colors will always shine through the seams and overpower the shadows. In a world of black and white, someone's true colors will shine through the seams.
Kylie, grade 5, our sister school, Jenny Horn, drawing. My artwork focused on Jenny Horn is a tribute to her awesomeness and her willingness to stand up and support others. She led an influential career in which she had a job to help people with fights in their families to find jobs and money. I hope by sharing her image, others will be inspired to follow her lead.
Alexandra, grade 10, Global Learning Charter Public School, painting. I chose to do a painting of a cake in honor of Polly Johnson. Polly was known for her delicious treats and supporting anti-slavery. You'll see 2 silhouettes. These are the faces of Anna and Frederick Douglass, and another silhouette of Polly herself. This piece is honoring Polly not only for being a successful businesswoman, but for also fighting for equality and change.
Nishai, grade 7, our sister school, The Freedom Fighters, Mixed Media, Fabric and Paint. My quilt highlights how our world has evolved and still needs to evolve around the rights for others, especially Black and brown humans. Just like Harriet Tubman, Fred Hampton, and Frederick Douglass, Polly Johnson worked towards stopping slavery and speaking towards equality for everyone. I hope that my piece inspires others to work like Polly Johnson to make a difference. So those were just amazing and inspiring, and I hope you all were as moved as we were by them. I wanted to let all the artists know that you will receive a $25 gift certificate to the museum's gift shop as a prize for being submitting these terrific artworks. And all of your artworks are going to be featured on a special commemorative edition set of postcards that when they are printed, we will send those out to you to share with your family and friends or to keep for yourself. And we'll also make them available for people to buy in our gift shop because we want your artwork to live beyond tonight, to be shared on multiple platforms. And of course, these will be on our website as well. Now, the judges were blown away by all of these, but there was one that they felt deserved top honor. And so we want to introduce that artist, Leilandra, for her painting of a cake to honor Polly Johnson. And we asked Leilandra to make a video of her statement, the full statement, not just the excerpt, so that you could see it side by side with her artwork to understand her process in developing this artwork.
Hi, I'm Laylandra, and for the Ignite project, I chose to do a painting of a cake in honor of Polly Johnson. Since Polly was a confectionist, I thought cake could relate to her story. Polly was known for her delicious treats and supporting anti-slavery. On the first layer of the cake shows 3 poppies with a ribbon wrapping around the cake. I chose to put flowers around this cake because Polly was known for her extravagant cakes and other confections in New Bedford. Poppies also represent peace and the end of a war. However, I dedicate these poppies to symbolize the ongoing war with hate towards different races, especially African Americans, we as society still face today. On the second layer, you'll see 2 silhouettes. These are the faces of Anna and Frederick Douglass. Polly and her husband, Nathan, were generous enough to let freedom seekers stay at their house in order to hide safely. As you move up the cake, you'll find another silhouette of Polly herself. The cake topper is the word equality with different flowers around it. This piece is honoring Polly not only for being a successful businesswoman, but for also fighting for equality and change. My approach to this piece included some drafts and sketching beforehand. I also pre-planned a color scheme that I hope would fit this painting. I also did research on 18th and 19th century cakes and confections to really understand what Polly could have been creating during that time. This project was very fun to create and research on because I too like to bake, and Polly is really inspiring to me because of how far she got with her business. Thank you.
So I wanted to say thank you and congratulations, and invite Bernadette and Jordan to and Christina to applaud all of you wonderful artists. This is one of our favorite things we get to do every year, and just a shout out, woot woot from all of you.
And we truly hope that this is something that we're able to bring back and do in person again next year. We had a tremendous turnout for the in-person session, and really just an opportunity to honor all of you and to have the public see your work in a much bigger way. So
and for us to congratulate you in person.
Yes, exactly. So we hope that all of you who participated this year will participate again next year. And we look forward to all the exciting things to come.
Be well, everybody, and go create art and spread great stories. We're so glad you joined us. Thank you.
Yay! Thank you.